shit, maybe G.
Hello. How'd things go?
Hi.
It's a good chat, Remy. Okay. I'm gonna probably head up to Sandy. I'll leave processing to Abdul to get this guy sorted. Banks is it's what kind of charges is Banks looking at? Oh, hold on. Do you want to hold him for the search warrant?
Ooh.
I want to be clear. He should not be held pending a search warrant. It's probably like anything he has is locked.
All cars and properties.
Okay. All right.
He only has cars, yeah.
I'll get Hoover on radio and ask him. All right. Bye bye. Hoover, you still on channel 2?
Yes, Richard.
Right, Abdul's going to be processing Banks. Banks is clamming up, but I know getting a search and seizure for his properties and shit.
Did he not want voluntary search?
No, he didn't consent. He said do the work,
Okay.
Classic. So what do you want to do with him? Do you want to send him up for the charges that you're looking at, or do you want to do anything else? What do you want to do?
Oh, man, I've never done this before. Hold on, let me ask.
Like, am I crazy in that he shouldn't be held if the property is already under lockdown because they can't interfere with it? Or I say the property, but the vehicle. Yeah, there would be no reason to hold.
To play devil's advocate, if we're searching for further evidence, is that not the definition of investigating?
Just Richard.
Yes, though the.
Basically, the base of the question is: do you want Abdul to send Banks up on the charges you want, or do you want him to be held on an investigative hold?
We have his stuff locked down. There's no reason to
Oh wait, copy that.
down.
What charges wise? What's he looking at?
At the very least, felony with intent. He was on scene. Like we saw him doing handoffs. He got in the car. He fled. We can tie him into that. And then any other like possession, resisting, reckless, etc. Felony obstruction. Maybe not felony obstruction because there's already tied in, but you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. Okay, copy that. You hear that, Abdul?
How do you go though if you find a bunch of shit in his property?
Well, I mean, it'd be separate charges.
It'd be separate. It'd be a separate incident. It wouldn't be double jeopardy in that case. Yeah.
So I'm just charging him for the felony obstruction and reckless. And,
no, felony.
Nothing.
Felony possession with intent, reckless evading, resisting.
Ah, okay.
Did he have any illegal possessions aside from any illegal possessions that you found?
The misdemeanor Roxy as well.
So that charge. And then you've already he didn't have anything.
No gun.
What gun did Oscar have?
He also didn't have anything.
They hid it somewhere.
Interesting. Okay.
And let's not forget, this is the same guy who, right out of prison yesterday.
Yeah, and he and Oscar share keys, by the way. I looked at the keys and they've got the same labels on some of the keys.
I did document all of Oscar's keys, by the way. It's all in the report.
Yeah, sure that. But they both had a fudge house, a Little Benny's, and a trailer key. So I'm thinking Little Benny's is the gas station in Sandy. I'm thinking they also have a trailer up there somewhere. And I think the fudge house is Oscar's house.
Felony possession with intent to distribute. Oh my god, that is humongous. Okay. Oh my. His charges stacked up very nicely, kinda.
Who owns the business in Sandy?
The gas station, Benicio Delgado.
Hold on.
All right.
All right,
go ahead and move him. All right.
Oh, okay. I think I found their trailer.
On a trailer?
Well, I'm assuming this is a trailer. Sandy Shores, Algonquin Boulevard 2. Hassan Bashari. Because when I went through reports yesterday...
Yes. He's part
Wasn't he involved in something?
Yes, 6 days ago.
Recently?
Armored vehicle. Seti Banks, Oscar Perez, Hassan, Kevin Gomez. I'm assuming
these guys are operating around this time. I have to crack back open the tree patch files I used to have. These guys are like, because these guys were kind of
Hold on.
Up
They're
until
walking
recently,
by.
they were put on New Babylon.
Uh-huh.
But I guess they've separated from those guys again, and they've started back up in their own doing tree pass stuff again.
Well, hold on. Why don't we get... Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't they have to give up all their shit, and that's why Barrick had to get rid of the property?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly what happened.
So should we see if there's been any movement on this Algonquin Boulevard property? Couldn't we do that with account 11?
We could look at like who was paying the bills on it, yeah. But the fact that Benny still owns it makes me think, I don't know. It's a good point. I kind of want to head up there now and just have like peek around. So I want to get some cameras up in the motel and stuff like that while they're in prison, you know. Oh, by the way, that Knox guy, the primary target, they're trying to send him on a psych hold right now.
He's pleading that he's insane or mental health or something.
He's pleading that he's got DID, that he doesn't remember the incident, all this kind of stuff.
Has that legislation been pushed at all?
Yeah, it's passed.
Oh, psychiatric holds.
Yeah. They're trying to sort that out now, so I'm going to head up and this is not the end for sure. This is gonna. Do you
think? Because let's be honest, someone in that mental state doesn't say they're in that mental state. Like,
of course he's lying. Of course he is.
Do you think it's on the basis that like? Because let's not forget, the weed found on them was the same weed found on the ground with Seti's DNA. So, like, we know they're tied in.
Yeah. He's just, I think he's fucked and he's panicking.
What's their name? Their full name?
Knox something, I can't remember.
Oh, I'm putting Knox with a K. That's why. Knox Thompson. I mean, he has a long, I say long record is in like a bunch of different charges, but not super crazy in the grand scheme of things, if you ask me. He's affiliated with Halo. What the fuck is Halo?
No idea.
I'm
writing this speed.
Guys, he's been in custody for 80 months. Can I take that off?
So the way you'd structure it, if they plead guilty to charges, minus 25%. And then after 20 minutes of them being in custody, and this is officer discretion, whatever you feel is necessary, you can take off anything beyond the 20 months. So that would be 60 months in total. However, it is officer discretion and entirely dependent on, their sort of compliance and situations. So the choice is entirely yours, but typically we do sort of off-rip provide the 25% for a guilty plea. So 25%, do the math that way first, 25%, and then time served, not time served, then 25%.
Okay.
Ooh, this might be interesting.
What?
Knox Thompson had a key in his possession that was Roy Lowenstein 6, which comes back to Blake Ryder.
I mean, the thing is, the labels themselves can just be like...
Yeah, they could be random, yeah. You can't use it for anything.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to get back to the point where we're documenting everyone's fucking keys. Because we did that, like...
No,
I want to say the first fucking month or so. I don't know what it was, but I remember, and it was just such a pain. Like taking photos of the individual pattern of each key.
No, I think that's too extreme. I think all we should be used for like this is like the labels that they put on the keys, right? Can give us a bit of information for investigations, right?
Well, I mean, I think in scenarios that call for looking for overlap, it's appropriate to document the pattern of the key. I don't see any issue with that. In fact, that's what we were doing a year and a half ago, specifically because, again, let's not forget, back in the day, we had an MDT that told us who had keys to what property, right? We don't have that. The only other means we would have to prove is, I mean, sure, yes, the label on the key, if there's overlap amongst them, but if not, the actual pattern to prove that they actually match. There's no other way.
Yeah.
Or witness can go in and open the door up themselves.
That's true, 100%. But the question becomes, like, we suspect that they have access to a property. We obviously don't know, and there's no way to confirm aside from watching them run in and out of a property. But yeah.
Do you remember how long ago it was that we had Edgar in here talking to him? Remember? I think you come around at the tail end of it.
Oh yeah, the meth stuff. Yeah, it's probably like a week or two ago.
You know, I don't know. The minute you mentioned Blake Ryder's name, I swear there's been a situation where they were involved, where both those people were involved.
Really?
I just can't remember when.
You search Blake Ryder's incidents.
I was doing that now.
Look at Edgar's to see when exactly it was. If I remember rightly, there was people that got away, and one of them was a white-haired or female, and I know that Blake Ryder had the whitey, silvery coloured hair because we arrested her recently or something.
Seems like she gets arrested with kind of like a consistently different group of people, actually. Like there was some overlap.
To do with the WSMC or something.
Wait, hold on. One of these people had Knox. Self-described as WSMC and Lemon List advertisement, and then as of 3 months ago, not affiliated with WSMC anymore.
Well, I think she even advertises that she's the president or something.
Well, if Knox isn't affiliated, surely the others aren't, right? Also, we'd be able to check because Martha.
Well, that's when Hassan Bashari was caught with Edgar in that meth deal.
Hold on, I'm gonna look for the stuff. Blake Ryder had a lemon list ad that said 1%er, Tempest with the heart, and then selling Dubsta. And then... Oh, that's actually the only one.
Actually, I know who might know this because I know both Remy and Horva were here for this. And it was the one that Maple... It's my Peanuts and Maple were doing the interrogation on Edgar. They basically dropped half the charges and let him go.
Oh, yeah. That's the incident 234. Or 20,034. And then there was the report 34603 was when they saw them, I guess Maya saw them in that train yard up in Grapeseed, the class 2. You know what I've noticed? I've noticed that the Tree Pass guys are nearly always found in like position of like SMGs, like combat PDWs.
That's what Seti was found with yesterday.
Yeah, this is what I'm wondering whether they either they have a supplier or something, potentially, or maybe they are the supplier. I don't know. But they're always like very clean, unused SMGs.
Did you say Delgado, last name?
Yes.
Was the owner of the gas station?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on. There was a second property that I saw that I thought was that person's in Sandy, but... Hold on. Aspen... Hassan... That person we know. Kevin... I haven't seen Kevin Ram in ages. Eddie Bosco, Reggie... Travis... Reggie... Whoops. Those... I wish when you went back... Frankie Fitch, what's their affiliation? Name sounds familiar. Chaos
Chaos
Legion.
Legion.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like
They're in Sandy as well.
names that come to mind. I really wish the back button put me back in the
Wait,
same
so
spot.
how did Chaos Legion sell that to them? Did they?
Well, I mean, Chaos Legion, a
They
lot
must
of them
have
moved
done.
over to, is it Ravens?
Ravens.
Yeah, and they reside at like the old Rust compound, right? Like the salvage yard? Or not the Rust compound. They're behind
Mutiny.
the McQuillan warehouse thing that we were at the other day, right?
Yeah, they're a mutiny.
I said the salvage yard because one day I had drove in there and it was really awkward because they were having a meeting. And this was like at the very beginning, I think, of them setting things up. What if it's not Sandy? What if it's Harmony? Grand Sonora Desert. Also, there might be something that we are, I'm not going to say ignoring, but instead of searching Sandy and property, there's Route 68, but like it's split into Grand Sonora Desert and Harmony.
Right.
Like,
oh, Nova, you weren't here.
What do you
Big
mean?
bust up in Sandy.
Okay.
Prepare selling at the motel. I think it was Remy and Horva who were primary. There was three, maybe four inside the little room. In the photograph, you'll see one of the incidents. And we chased the primary, got him in custody, 2 interference, one of which was seen also in the room. So we got 2 on felony possession with intent. One of them's claiming psychiatric issues, and they're getting on a psych hold right now, which is a primary suspect. And one of the other suspects, we got his DNA. So that primary was found with like 375 bags of weed. The secondary, Mr. Seti Banks, which was the one we were going to doink yesterday, he was found, his DNA was found on a bunch of weed in the room and a bunch of money in the room, bunch of cash. So he's getting felony possession and he's getting raided. I think the other guy's the primary's probably going to get raided too. And then we also had Oscar Perez. So it's Treepass confirmed, selling up in Sandy. So I think we need to push a little bit hold on these guys if they're going to be doing it around this time.
Radio check.
Hello.
I rarely see jokes.
Hi, Rhodes. I have a fun one
365
for
from
you.
Lima 39.
You have
right?
what?
So we still have Knox up at BCSO.
Right.
I'm not 100% on this. So TLDR, saying he has DOD, doesn't remember the incident, and there's a violent alter. I was looking to put him on a psych hold. I need to do a hearing with the judge for that, which we're trying to get a judge, but we don't hear back. So the others floated the idea of putting him on a 24-hour investigative hold while we wait to hear back about the psychiatric hold. But my
is there
only
no middle
issue...
ground, like pending response from a judge?
Nope.
Huh?
So I'm looking for an involuntary psychiatric screening, and it is.
Well, hold on. If they're claiming these things, will they not allow it to be voluntary? Or are we concerned that they'll just release themselves as quickly as possible?
Oh, no, it's the alters keep switching in and out, so the one that's responsible for all of it keeps taking over, so then it's kind of like one could consent, but the other one could unconsent, if you get what I'm meaning, because like
yes, 100%. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, Ricky? Okay. All right. It's just so yeah, I'm reading the legislation. It's the involuntary screening hold initiated.
Well, that means that the hold happens first.
The way they've written this is fucking confusing my brain while I'm tired.
Like, okay. I mean, involuntary. So it
Section
says
2.
Yes. So I'm looking under Section 2 as well. At the very bottom, so the line above Section 3, involuntary hold initiated. The hearing where the reason for the hold gets explained. The judge approves it, and that is actually not written very well.
Are we in? Because
I read the initiating hold. Well, this is a screening hold.
Yeah.
Okay, then the hold gets initiated. Like at the very start, that's step 1. And then we have a hearing in front of a judge when they're available, I guess. Due to their mental state or illness, the individual is considered an active danger to themselves of being unable to meet their own basic needs or poses an active threat or danger to others. Must be probable suspicion or evidence of mental illness that poses an immediate threat to the individual safety. There's valid concern, yes. Patients can be held for a maximum of 48 hours while they await a proper evaluation from a licensed mental health professional, ideally within the first 24 hours of the hold. The patient's been on a psych hold for 48 hours. The patient has been available, but no licensed mental health professional has met with them, and they must be released once that 48-hour hold ends. The only exception are the rare cases where the patient may not have been available during the time or during their hold for meeting. Okay, but then what's written above? Anything referencing judges?
Because the way I've done it before is this was when the legislation was like half in, half not. We had someone on a 24-hour hold because I needed to process stuff and they needed a psych evaluation. Once psych eval was done, I was handed a piece of paper which I took to a judge that declared them unfit for society. The judge read the assessment and approved the hold. So I think that's what it's trying to mean, but the way it's written is confusing me, like you need approval for the hold. The initial screening hold. It's written...
Well, I mean, the screen... Okay, so the way I look at this is the process for initiating... Well, number one, this isn't... The process is not written very well up there, but it's process for initiating an involuntary psychiatric screening hold, right? 48-hour maximum. And then it lists out sort of a flow chart where it's the hold is initiated, which tells us, I mean, realistically, Remy, it's vague enough to where we reach out to a judge pending that hold, but like the whole approval thing, like it seems odd. But the first step here in this,
to put them on the hold.
The hold is initiated.
All right,
and
so
then
he's going up on the screening hold tonight then, because it's written
yeah,
poorly, but
I clear
the way
that.
it looks...
You have my signature because, well, actually, hold on. Above the voluntary hold states the patient requests a mental health professional to place them on a psych hold or voluntarily commits themselves to the facility. They can deny the voluntary hold for any reason, or the department can deny the hold. The patient, mental health professional, both sign a contract for a voluntary hold. This contract will outline the rules, regulations, and restrictions that'll govern their stay in the facility. These are violated or become non-compliant, they can and will be evicted. They'll follow the treatment protocols, and they sign themselves out of the facility, or they can sign themselves out at any time. But that same logic doesn't apply, and it's crazy because then if you go to like the section 3, it specifically clarifies this hold must be approved by a judge prior to it beginning, but that doesn't exist on the first one, right?
So the involuntary short-term holds, that's what I've done before, because I had someone declared unfit for society. So I handed off the psychiatric report that Psych gave me to a member of the DOJ. They read through it and they approved the hold. And it was also a judge who was familiar with the incident where the individual had attacked people and that.
I think our due diligence here is, well, actually, outlined in grim.
I reached out to Pixie because I know we don't really have a process of how we're meant to notify psych if we do put someone up on one of these, so that can also be established with psych, because last time it was weird and like last time it was before the legislation was like 100% official, while it's fully in now.
Yeah, literally the only thing we can do is follow what it currently states. Even if it sounds backwards, the hold needs to be initiated. So we need to hold them for up to 48 hours. And that's really it. We reach out to a judge pending that response.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is the timer started 48 hours or less for evaluation. It seems to start based on the judge's approval. And that's backwards. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's a not us problem necessarily. I think you have my thumbs up to send this person on the 48-hour hold.
All right.
Because as it currently stands, specifically section 2, the other sections may not be as problematic, but section 2's writing is problematic. Because there's the flowchart isn't very logical in how it's written.
I feel like what's missing in there is it would make more sense in that section if they had done the involuntary screening hold completed, hearing approval. The way that I don't fucking know what.
No, you're not wrong. It's written in a very odd way. So again, send them up for up to 48 hours. We will. Is there? You've already reached out to Pixie, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case, we're good on that front. Did you provide all of the relevant information to Pixie?
I am going to.
Because even if you haven't, and like Pixie may not be the person, Pixie will communicate it to whoever can. Exactly. And that way she's already given all of the information so that there's no additional delay waiting for a response on whatever.
Yep, easy.
So 48-hour hold, we reach out to a judge. I need your statement in the event where you are not around, and let's say I am, and a judge is available. I mean, I'll just be reiterating your statement or just having the judge read your justification behind the hold, which seems very valid. I will
make sure Hover and Ricky get it written because they're the main ones that have spoken to him in interrogation and got all this stuff. I'm just trying to help on the legislative front.
I'll head up there, just so that they know that. I mean, listen, I know they're BCSO, but also this is shift 3. So I'm gonna head up there, speak with them, and let them know that if there is any issue with it, that'll fall back on me, not them. I don't want them to be concerned about that.
All right.
All right, I'll be there in a bit.
We'll see you up here in a minute.
All right, bye. Why is my insulin pump yelling at me? Whoops. It almost seems like the formatting was messed up. It wasn't, because I'm looking at the original. This is partially my fault, by the way, because Pixie had sent me the legislation, and when was that? 2 weeks ago? I'm changing the color. I really fuck with this blue, I ain't gonna lie. What was the other blue? Vehicle color. History. I had to have been before this, I guess. Am I dumb? What? Wasn't it an announcement? ECSO. I thought it was that vehicle color. It was the vehicle color thing. Or I thought it was. Frost. Pink. Vehicle color change. Ah! Please tell me this is it. Yeah. No. Why is this dark? Like, super dark. How come it doesn't... I don't like this color on this car. It is under the scout livery. Every time we pop the hood. It's there. I do fuck with the gray. Red's gray is like hello.
Hey, Remy said that you were on your way here.
Yes, I am. Sorry, I got caught up in something not urgent, but I am leaving Mission Row as we speak.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see you here shortly. All right. Cool.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Where? I think it's crazy that genuinely, I think the automatic transmission is superior to the sequential. What is that? Oh, rental. Also, we never got the photo. Hello.
Howdy.
Approved.
Hello. Approved.
I mean, regarding the involuntary hold, I mean, if someone's in our custody and they're, just to verify, is it alters? Is that how it's?
Yeah.
They're swapping mid-conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
Like he'll just stop talking and then he'll adopt a different voice and then start.
His eyes turned black.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reality here exists that, like, assume we weren't pushing anything else. Like, in this situation, we couldn't even accept a guilty plea. Like,
yeah,
I think any officer in good faith would look at what's going on and be like, I don't think this person is mentally there. And so, despite how the legislation is written and how it's a little wonky, in my opinion, at the end of the day, we go with what we've got, which does state the hold gets initiated as the first step, or I'm at least perceiving that as a step. And maybe the timer only starts once a judge approves it, but like they need to be there in our custody to justify it. So yeah. TLDR, I say push the up to 48-hour hold. As long as we do our due diligence, ensuring that psych is aware of the situation, in addition to judges being made aware, so that we can hopefully get that, I guess, approved by the DOJ, since we seemingly need to justify it in front of them if they're around, you know? Let's see. Remy, there hasn't been a DOJ response,
I've
has there?
heard nothing, and I've had nothing from DOJ or Psych, which I know this is definitely out of Psych's time.
Yeah.
For the people on their team
100%.
at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that those people aren't around, but I do not think we can just let this guy.
I mean, it's out of our
back
control.
on the streets.
Yeah, 100%.
He he threatened more than just me. He threatened literally the entire PD, talking about mowing all of us down, and he was going to hesitate with McLeod.
Okay, well,
Like, it is very concerning.
I will communicate to the DOJ that we are making a good faith effort into following the legislation. I will communicate that they were or are going to be sent on a hold. The thing is, we're not going to be able to guarantee that we're around to justify this when a judge is available, you know? That's the tricky part. So my only ask is that statements are very thorough regarding exactly what was stated, exactly the actions that give you guys reason to believe that they are mentally not all there, even if it's quotes from the individual themselves that make you think that, in addition to actions. Make sure that's all written down. As soon as that is done, they get sent up on that hold. We have to make it clear to them that it is the, involuntary, up to 48-hour. What is it? Short? Is it the short-term one? Long-term? Short? Hold on. I forget already. Section 2, involuntary psychiatric screening hold. That's what it is.
Would someone like to be in there to help me explain to this guy? Because I'm kind of... Well,
yeah, I'll go.
We should
What if he
also
lets the
notify him
angry
about
side
the,
out?
the search
Well,
warrant as well, right? Or do we not need to...
I have a great way of dealing with people. I have a way with words. What's this individual's name?
Knox
Thompson.
Knox, okay.
All
right.
And what of the search warrant, by the way? That needs to get approved by a judge.
I'm assuming a judge, if they're
We're
not
just
available
gonna have
for
to go
this.
straight judge for him, because if we aren't confident he can make a plea, we aren't confident he can consensually agree to a search
Yeah,
warrant.
100%. We cannot simultaneously say this person is mentally insane, but also during the time where we deem that, we are accepting their voluntary whatever.
Yeah.
That's not, it wouldn't be appropriate. All right. I guess we'll go on and explain. Oops, sorry.
All right, Mr. Thompson, apologies for the wait. 1 second as I turn the recording back on. All right, restarting this recording. It is now 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Senior Deputy Tommy Horver, joined alongside Sergeant Ricky Dallas and Assistant Chief of Police Matthew Rhodes.
Matt Rhodes.
Matt Rhodes.
Yep, that's okay. It happens.
Apologies, Matt.
That's all right. Mr. Thompson, I know you've been here for quite some time. However, it has been explained to me that there are some concerns here, specifically regarding your mental health. And as a result, from my understanding, we are going to be initiating I want to say it's called the involuntary psych screening hold, which is essentially a up to 48-hour hold pending a mental evaluation. Reason for that, from my understanding, being both actions alongside stuff you've said that lead officers to believe that you are, again, a danger to yourself and others, or yourself or others, realistically. So the long story short here is it is a up to 48-hour hold. If a psych individual were to be available in, let's say, 30 minutes, wonderful. That psych eval could then be had at that point, or that screening could be had at that point. However, there are additional aspects of this, since this is a newer piece of legislation, that also does require a meeting in front of a judge to justify the hold. But the flowchart in which they've provided is, we hold you, we request a judge, which we've already have, and unfortunately there's been no response. Then they approve it or not, and then the counter starts. Except step one is the hold being initiated. So we're going to do our best, our absolute best, to ensure that is followed. But it is a little backwards, is what I'm trying to get at here. What I will also say is that this 48-hour hold is independent of anything regarding any potential charges that you would have been receiving today. So the possibility does exist that this hold occur, you be in, like within that hold for 40 hours. And let's say psych deems that you are mentally clear at this point. You would then be transferred back to us to continue on with the situation at hand today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. And additionally, I can't stress this enough. Because of the concerns that officers involved here have with you today, even in the event where you wanted to plead guilty or make some kind of deal or authorize us to do anything, we can't simultaneously say that we don't believe you're mentally all there while simultaneously taking your voluntary acceptance of stuff, right? Because again, it'd be hard to argue that, yeah, we took him on his word while simultaneously saying, and we also don't think mentally he's in a good spot right now. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying here is there isn't really an alternative. There's no, oftentimes people will say, well, I plead guilty. I just want this to wrap up. That's again, not a possibility here. Does that also make sense? Mr. Thompson? Mr. Thompson.
Can you pass out again?
What was that?
You may have passed out again.
Mr. Thompson? You gonna be all right? Do we need EMS?
We don't have any EMS.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Has this happened before while he's been in custody?
He passed out before, but then he woke up a little
came
bit
to.
after.
His eyes did turn black during the first interrogation.
Mr. Thompson?
Do you have smelling salts?
No, I don't just carry smelling salts with me.
I don't know. No one here has any.
Mr. Thompson? Mr. Thompson? You all right?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson, do you...
Yeah.
Are there any medical conditions that we need to be concerned about?
I'm very cold. Very, very cold. All since like 2-3 weeks ago. I've been always cold. I've had flaky skin for a little bit while. I went to an EMS for them to check it out, but they didn't really. They just gave me a blanket and said, "Just try it out, try it dehydrates." But it's just I've gotten more pale in color, so I'm fucking cold.
Okay. And what do you typically do to warm up?
Usually just I don't get warm.
Regardless of what you do?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you said you went to EMS, but did you go to a doctor?
Each time I've tried, there was no one around, so my best bet was just to try and see if I can get like a ripper duck, like from like one of the people, just to see what EMS could do.
Okay.
See what they could do like outside of the hospital grounds, just to see what they could possibly figure out.
Okay. Mr. Thompson, you're not a diabetic or anything, are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty healthy.
Okay. All right. Do me a favor, sit tight. I'm gonna check to see if there are any doctors available. 'Cause that's it's not normal. Give me a moment. Docs channel 10, right?
Yeah, doctors would be channel 10.
Are there any doctors available?
Right.
No.
Cool. Davenport's also here.
Unfortunately.
He was a little shaky
Yeah,
before, but not that shaky. That's the most shaky that I've seen him.
Well,
and also, like I said, when he had like that deeper voice, he wasn't really like there was no shake in his voice at all. He was pretty clear spoken. So it might have to do with his DID. I don't know.
I mean, he said he's felt cold for weeks.
Anemic?
I have no idea. He said nothing warms him up. That he went to EMS, which is kind of backwards because you go to EMS to provide treatment for small things, but typically they then transport you to a doctor who will then sort stuff out.
What's the development?
I mean, there's no doctor available.
Nope.
At most, we would have Dr. Payne, right? Like, that is the unfortunate reality of the situation. We can offer transporting him down to CMC to receive treatment from Dr. Payne, but there's no doctor on radio that we can confirm with at the moment. Once that is sorted, I mean, the thing is, we're not necessarily entitled to their medical stuff. I mean, it either gets resolved or it doesn't. He can then be returned here, but ultimately, he's going on that up to 48-hour hold for that screening.
Well, he's marked down as pleading guilty, and he pled guilty to felony with intent to distribute.
So, what's Remy yelling at?
Oh, the other guy pled guilty to felony with intent.
He's sweating
Oh.
True speedos. Let's just put it that way.
I wonder who Remy's talking to.
Hey, Richard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we leave the choice up to him. Well, actually, I think we should transport him to CMC regardless.
Yeah, I was gonna say leaving it up to him.
Yeah,
I don't think he can make a choice.
Yeah,
no.
that's my. That's why the moment I said that, I was like, wait, no.
Yeah.
Let's get him transported to CMC. Let's go collectively as a group, considering the potential exists that this is all a means of delay to attempt to coordinate some kind of attack. Not that he's been in contact with anyone, but obviously the opportunity still exists if they know he hasn't been sent off. Yeah, let's just go from there. If they,
Affirmative.
I mean, again, I would actually get him transported to Mission Row after CMC, primarily because if he's going on a hold anyways, it's not like he's being charged for the prior things until that's sort of concluded.
I mean, shouldn't we just send him up for the? When you send up for a psychiatric hold, are you not like at CMC? Because I think that's how Ember did it. I don't know.
From my understanding, and I could be wrong here, I believe Ember was a voluntary hold.
Okay.
And our holds consist of them being sent to prison.
Gotcha.
We have no other means of doing anything. Psych does have a facility. It is right by the salvage yard on Alta. But that is typically, from my understanding, reserved for people who are on voluntary holds. But the I don't know. I don't know because like I look at this piece of legislation and that section specifically that we need is written in a very wonky way. Which isn't ideal, but we'll figure it out. So TLDR, get him loaded up. We collectively roll as a group in a good amount of people. Down to CMC. He gets treated. Again, there's no doctor available, so it'll have to be Dr. Payne or whoever's working. And from there, if you want to come back here, we can. It's no big deal. But again, I don't believe we're charging anything at the moment because we're waiting for that whole, the eval or the screening. And then they get sent up, and we do our best to ensure that judges are made aware. I will separately communicate with them and let them know that on our end, I approved us to push this based upon how it was written, though we should clarify exactly how this is meant to be done. Like, is it hold for up to 48 hours pending the judge's approval, and then the 48-hour counter starts at that point? Because it should be 48 hours no matter what. So it's starting at the judge's approval point's a bit silly.
Could you review the search warrant for SETI?
So yeah, let's get him loaded up. Let's get him to the hospital.
Getting done. Do you want to use channel 2?
Yes.
Just use who we've got here.
Yep. I will communicate on 1 to let others know, but I'll let them know that we should have sufficient units on 2 already.
Dallas, do you want to look at Knox?
290 radio check. Be advised, there's a situation happening on Channel 2 regarding something that happened well over an hour ago. We have someone in custody. Mentally, we don't believe they're all there. They're eventually going to be put on a hold. But we are transporting them from BCSO to CMC to get checked by a doc. I don't believe there's any on duty based on lack of response on 10. There's likely going to be checked in with Dr. Payne. However, other individuals, as